I'm Mark Hall Patton. I want to welcome you to the Clark County Museum. You know, when you come to the museum, we have all the outdoor area. We've got a number of houses here you can go through, historic structures, but we also have the main museum building. We're in the main museum building at this point, and you can see behind me our display about gaming. Gaming, of course, is a big part of Southern Nevada and has been since it was re-legalized in 1931. But today I want to show you an artifact here that you might not notice as you walk around. It was really much more important in 19th and early 20th century gaming than even poker was. When you're looking at the exhibits here, you might see the Dewey nickel machine and some of the other machines, but a lot of times people don't look up and see our Faro board. Now, Faro was actually the most popular game in the Old West. When you were gambling in saloons and gambling halls, this was the game that people played, not poker. Faro was one of those games that was relatively even-handed. You had the best chance of winning if it was a fair game and the game hadn't been gaffed or rigged. The game of Faro actually comes from France, and its original name was named for the Egyptian images on the cards that they used. It was Pharaoh, like the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. But when it came to the United States in 1817, the name was changed to Faro, F-A-R-O, and that's how the name was known. It was used throughout the Old West. It was an easy game to set up. You had to have your bank, which meant you had to have money, and if you broke the bank, then the game was over because the Faro dealer had no money to pay off on bets anymore. And the game was an easy one. You're basically betting that you can guess what the next cards are coming out of the shoe, coming out of the card holder. And the idea was you'd set up the board, the bank would be the dealer, and he would burn the first card, then he would pull it out, you'd see it, that card was no longer in the deck, you'd use a single deck, and then you'd have the bank card, which was the losing card, and you'd have the English card, which was the winning card.
Winner to the king, $500.
And in the Old West, Faro was the game that you would find everywhere. Wyatt Earp was a Faro dealer, Bat Masterson was, Doc Holliday was something that you'd find all over. When gaming became legal again in 1931, Las Vegas and Nevada were about the only place in the United States that you could find a legal Faro game. But by the end of World War II, Faro had started dying out. Most of the men who came back from the war had learned to play craps. They didn't really understand Faro anymore. And the gaming establishments, the casinos, didn't have a real good return on Faro. It was a much more even-handed game if played correctly. And by the 1970s, you could not find a Faro game being played anywhere in Nevada. The last one, I believe, was at the Ramada up in Reno in 1985, and it was a single table up there. But in the 19th century, when you look at the old Western movies and that sort of thing, and everybody's sitting around playing poker around the table and that, they wouldn't have been. They would have been playing Faro. Now remember, the museum is open 7 days a week, 9 to 4:30. It's only $2, so it is the best bargain in the Vegas Valley. So I hope you'll come out and see us here, learn a little bit about our gaming history as well, and take a look at our Faro board.